also Associate Director, Internal Medicine, Max Healthcare. Appreciate you speaking to us, Doctor, on this historic day, because both the vaccines have been granted approval by the DCGI. 2020 was certainly a very difficult year, especially for the frontline workers, for our doctors. Now that we have the vaccines, we've already carried out 2 phases of the dry run. How do you see this playing out going forward?
Well, we've had a terrible year last year. We've been dealing with this virus for such a long time now, and we've been waiting for this day. This is a big day, I would say, for India and the scientific community in India. In less than 1 year, we have a vaccine in place and which will be rolled out soon. And this will further boost our fight against the virus. And once we start inoculating the priority population, and then the general population will be able to break the cycle of transmission and reach herd immunity. And that's what the vaccine is there for. It will further reduce the mortality. And as it is, we're doing well right now. There's been a steady decline in the number of cases for the last 3 months. And India will emerge better from this. And this vaccine is a big thing for India, I would say. And we've been waiting for it for such a long time. And now instead of one, we'll have 2 vaccines. The Serum Institute one is already there, and now we have the Bharat Biotech one also, which is going through the phase 3 trials. And at some point, we might start inoculating with that also, though we need more data on that. But whatever data they have seen, analyzed, the subject expert committee, they've found that everything is fine as far as safety, efficacy is concerned. That's why it's been given a nod. No corners have been cut. There have been no shortcuts, and they have thoroughly done it in a scientific way. And we should have no hesitancy as far as the vaccine is concerned. People should come forward now, support it, and make it a huge success. Anyway, it is the largest vaccination drive in the world. And I don't see any reason to be pessimistic. We should all be happy and excited about the whole thing.
Absolutely. And Doctor, you had the DCGI confirming that this is 110% safe. There is no need to panic, because a lot of people have been skeptical about really going ahead with these vaccine shots. But like you pointed out, the COVID situation in the country is certainly getting much better. We're seeing better days in terms of the number of deaths as well. Now that we have these 2 vaccines and many more on their way as well, like pointed out by you, what do you think is going to be the next big challenge, or rather what we need to focus on next?
Well, the challenge is it's going to be a daunting task if you have to inoculate such a country with huge population of 1.3 billion people. But then we've been at it. We've had a good success with immunization in the past, and we've had these dry runs. The government has been very proactive. They've been working at it. Even if you see, yesterday we had a dry run in most of the states, and they found out certain loopholes. They need more time for adverse events, internet connectivity, and things like that. And I don't see any reason why we should panic or there shouldn't be a problem. I think we'll be able to manage it well, successfully, as we have done in the past. And see, minor hiccups here and there are expected with any vaccine. And even you have minor side effects like pain at the inoculation site, some minor headache, body ache, mild fever, and that's expected. But whatever the trial data says is that there's been no major adverse event at all. So there's no reason why we should be skeptical. We don't have to be very apprehensive about the whole thing. It's been done in a scientific way. We should have full confidence, faith in our government, in the health authorities, and just go with it. Have faith and confidence. That's what I would say. And there's no reason why India will not be able to do it. And we've done it in the past, and we'll be able to do it now.
Absolutely. And, like the Prime Minister said, Doctor, this is certainly going to fulfill the dream of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. The 2 vaccines that have been granted approval have been made in India, of course, one in collaboration with Oxford AstraZeneca and one with the ICMR. So certainly a very a big morale booster and also a confidence building exercise for India.
Of course, yes. Both the vaccines have been manufactured here, one with collaboration with AstraZeneca, Oxford. And you also have to applaud the manufacturers, the Serum Institute. But they got full support from the government. They have already manufactured 75 million doses, which is like huge. If the trials haven't gone through, they would have wasted all those vials. And that would have been a huge loss for them. But see, everyone has contributed in this. Apart from the government, which is so assertive, firm, and proactive, it's the manufacturers and the healthcare community. Everyone is up to it, contributing towards it and trying to make it a huge success, which is like huge for a country like India with our kind of economic resources, healthcare infrastructure. We're right there on par with the Western countries, US, UK. I mean, the vaccination started there a month back, and now we're right there. We're also starting it, and instead of 1, we have 2 vaccines. And all the credit goes to the government, the scientists, the researchers who worked overtime, and it's almost a miracle that we have a vaccine in less than 1 year, I would say.
Yes. Also, Doctor, to just end with this, we've seen 2 phases of the dry runs already. First one actually took place across 4 states. Yesterday, we saw a mega exercise being carried out across the nation. In that sense, you must have viewed the developments extremely closely. There is certainly end-to-end testing that has taken place as far as these dry runs are concerned, from cold storages to really identifying the sites to also seeing how feasible is the Covaxin application. What do you think have been the main takeaways from these dry runs?
Well, the takeaway is that the Covaxin application has to work properly. The data has to be entered. If there is any hiccup, that has to be taken care of. You need more ground staff to manage it, and also the IT systems, the internet connectivity, and the time that you need. It's not only giving the vaccine. Post giving the vaccine, you have to manage the adverse events. And for that also you need time, whether you have the proper equipment, the staff. I mean, all these dry runs help you to get over it, to plug the loopholes and to identify the challenges. And whatever they've found have been minor issues, and I'm sure they'll be taken care of. The data, the phone numbers have been wrong, and that will be taken care of. I mean, at least they've been able to identify where they're going wrong before the actual rollout. And once the rollout happens, I'm sure this will be eased out and the process will be very smooth. And that's the idea of having a dry run, because before you start the process, you want to be very sure what you're getting into, whether you're fully prepared or not. And I don't see any major thing that has come up, but these minor issues should be taken care of.